Les Brown once said, if you set goals and go after them with all the determination you can muster, your gifts will take you places that will amaze you. You can agree with me that we always feel satisfied and have a sense of relief when at least get some result of the things we've worked for. Well, sometimes everything seems difficult before they become easy. Believe me that the river cuts through big rocks not because of its power, but because of its persistence. So we likewise need to put in some effort constantly to endure. It is true that life gives us different experiences and every individual has different life goals, but despite that, at times, we may not know how to go about them, and that becomes easy. We disesteem what we aim to achieve. And it's so sad that people usually give up when what they aim to achieve gets too hard or takes too long. They fail a few too many times and respond by giving up. But the same people forget that someone who fears to make mistakes will never grow, because it is through mistakes when we can become better at what we aim to achieve. When you're walking down the streets and you accidentally trip on a stone and fall, do you continue lying on the ground even for 2 minutes? Well, sometimes circumstances can hit us painfully, but let us not make that as an excuse to fail. Instead, it should be a strength sign to move on. Whenever I think about this, there's a statement that always crosses my mind. It says, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Do not give up. Do not be among those many of life's failures, because if giving up on our life causes our response, we are completely ensuring defeat and failure is likely to happen in our lives. We are going to encounter obstacles to the extreme, and frankly speaking, we might be completely clueless about what we are doing. I'll be honest with you that before reaching your destination, there's just one thing that will be inseparable to a commitment of your life goals: obstacles. You cannot say, no, I'll study my course without encountering any sort of an obstacle. They will always cling to your determination, but that should not be a barrier in getting some results. So the best way to deal with our obstacles, no matter how strong they get to be, is to prepare to surmount them in the best way possible. And please, never try to be perfect. Understand your imperfections and learn to rest when you get tired instead of giving up. In life, there are so many things we do, and you can agree with me that despite our main life goals we can be working on, there can be other important things we can also be working on, and we may find it easy to underestimate the time to take to complete our main life goals. And this optimism bias is the habit that leads to giving up, because we end up getting overwhelmed and do not dedicate the necessary time to take to complete our main life goals. So, you see, sometimes we may not know the way we use our time. And please, it is not that maybe we need more time to achieve our dreams properly, no. But we need to use our time more effectively. We need to focus on the most important things first. We need to spend time on what to get us the most results, and we need to stick to the goals we've chosen and never back down because of some pressure we may encounter, because Confucius said, when it's obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action step. The other day, I overheard someone say, it is always hard to start working on the dreams that will change our lives. Well, sometimes getting started wouldn't be the hard part. The hard part would be sticking with our new habit or lifestyle and maintaining changed behavior, because there's always the pull of the old and the fear of the new environment. There was one man who answered people's questions about how the brain operates in relation to what it focuses on and how it commands the body to act on things. But before that, whenever people want to accomplish some goal they value, they ask themselves questions which usually leads to giving up. Questions like, I am just one among 1.2 billion. So even if I change, what good will it do? What about the rest? Who will change everyone? Well, these are some of the most negative thoughts I have heard all through my life. Anyway, when we speak of this man whose name was Dashrath Manji, he was an Indian man, so brave. This man lost his wife in an accident due to not receiving immediate medical care, as there was no nearby hospitals. The distance between Dashrath's village and the nearby hospital was a very big hill, which made life difficult for people in that village to travel to the nearby hospitals in case of emergencies. Now, courageously, Dashrath started thinking that no one else should suffer the same fate. So he began digging through the hills to build a road to make his village more accessible for medical care. Now, look at this. Most of his villagers used to laugh at him. They called him all sorts of names: poor man, lunatic, imbecile, as he was hammering the hills, being tortured emotionally by his own people every day. And if you think of it, how easy was it for him to just give up? Well, Despite the frustrations he experienced, he completed the work, which lasted for 22 years and successfully reduced the distance between his village and the nearby hospital from 30 kilometers to 3 kilometers. Yes, he did that. There's just one thing I learned from him. Nothing is impossible to achieve if you just set your mind to it. So do not be taken by the influence of the world, because they aren't the ones holding your vision, your life, and your choices. Do what you love and love what you do. Not giving up should be compulsory, not an option. Do not give up.